All right. Hello. We are live. Thanks for being here tonight, this morning, wherever you are in the world. I wanted to do a little bit of office hour time. We haven't done a Q&A in a long time. And since just came out with a brand new ebook, I wanted to kind of come answer questions about really anything kind of had going on, anything that's on your mind this evening or this morning or this afternoon, wherever you are. Shoe customization, the new studio, really anything that is on your mind. I'm kind of here to answer questions and just kind of hang out for the evening. Just got off of work, so I'm going to take a quick drink of water and then we can get started. I'm just kind of waiting for everything kind of set up here, and I have to get something really quick right here. All right, there we go. All right. So if everyone's having a good night, good spring, it is miserable out here. It is rainy and cold, and it was just really pleasant out. And now I'm getting like seasonal affective again because it's getting all yuck out. Let's see, Kindle. So, like I said, reason I'm doing this stream now is because, like I said, the brand new ebook just came out. The shoe customization and lower leg taping for athletes. It's available on footdoctorzack.com. It's all about shoe customization, taping, orthotic customization, how to read wear patterns, really anything performance sneakers. It's about 12 years of my life, really, in terms of studying and everything that's gone into it, that's packed into this book. And since a lot of people have kind of gotten the book and I've gotten a lot of good questions and good feedback, I thought it'd be good to kind of go live. Just in case other people had questions of similar things. So make sure everything's going on here. All right. So I'm going to jump into questions because really that's all I have. Just make sure you go to footdoctorzack.com/customization to check out the ebook. It's launch week pricing right now. So it's $36.99 now. That price will go up. You do get invited to the private group that's on the website once you purchase the book. Now that is obviously, like I said, private group. So I'm in there answering questions, sharing updates, really doing features, things like that. Someone has asked a question about golf shoes today that I'm going to be getting into once this stream is done. So there's lots of stuff on there that's going to be answered and kind of private and, not subject to the whims of the YouTube algorithm. Plus I've got a shoe cleaning guide. A lot of people have been asking about different components of shoe cleaning. So I went around the internet, looked and saw what the best methods were for that. Okay. So with that out of the way, I'm trying to get to the cover here, make sure I've got all my questions. Yeah, let's get started. All right. Now, if you start spamming questions, I'm just going to block you. Just FYI, if you ask the same question more than like twice, I'm just going to block. So don't try it because I'm a one-man band and all things here. So, and this stream is no different. So I can only do so many things. Ebook, by the way. All right. So let's get into it. For regular walking shoes, I've been wearing the NBM 840. Yeah, it's great. These have been great. This model is no longer available. The 840 is still available. It's available in a walking and a running shoe. At least I literally just had someone come in with them in the office. And the 860 is also a great replacement for the 840 because the 860, it's basically the same shoe now with Fresh Foam X in it. So for a walking shoe, that's what I would do. Nike A1 or Sabrina 2. I have no idea. I mean, they're really, really similar shoes. I like the Sabrina 2 more, but the A1 is a great shoe. I mean, they're both, honestly, they're some of Nike's better shoes. But it really just depends what you want. I mean, check the teardowns out and see which one gels with you better. I think I think they're both good. And they, the Sabrina 2 goes on sale constantly. The A1 is just a little bit cheaper to begin with. So honestly, there's not much between them, right? I mean, you're comparing this much, right, between the shoes. Pick the colorways you like and go with that. Or whichever one fits your foot better. Do I have experienced any foot pain while using the Curry 4 Flowtro? No, not at all. Joker 1 GT or leaning JB3? Yes. The Joker 1, maybe a little bit more of a premium upper type shoe. The JB3, maybe a little bit more of a speedy shoe, but all in all, I mean, yeah, honestly, I'd probably go with the GT just because of the outsole tread. I would say the outsole tread's much better on the GT. Not that much better, but it's not a flat tread. So do I plan on doing more volleyball shoes? I just did another volleyball shoe like 3 days ago. So yeah, I actually have the Wave Momentum 3s sitting right there. I actually tore these down at the Olympics. And honestly, I didn't get a lot of feedback on that video from my normal subscribers, so I didn't even pursue it. I mean, most things on this channel, I mean, I don't pursue unless I get feedback on, or unless I get, something from the community. So, I mean, when I did the ASICS one, I mean, I got a great feedback. So I started, I planned on started doing more of them, the Wave Momentums. I just didn't get a lot of feedback when I did the Olympic video. So I just didn't do a full review of them. So, but yeah, you got to let me know in the comments, what you want. So that's, like I said, that's how the ASICS shoes got, on a review, because it was so overwhelming what people wanted. Thanks for all the, sorry, I gotta be showing these questions. I'm sorry. Thanks for all the helpful reviews. My knees and feet feel so much better. Oh, I'm glad to hear it. Glad to help. I could help. Best shoes for ankle problems, impact. So ankle problems is not a diagnosis. So you'd have to let me know what kind of ankle problems: lateral, medial, anterior, posterior, what structure, Derek Rose play style of Young and Agile. Yeah, I'd have to know what kind of ankle problems there were. If I had to win one game for 1 million, what 3 shoes am I choosing to play? The ones that fit my foot the best. I mean, the two ways fit my foot. The two way, actually, the V4 more than the V5. So that's what I'd be in, just because they fit my foot the best. But if you have to, like, if the shoe is the most important thing, you're not going to win. Put it that way. So I would make sure I'm in the shoe that's the most broken in and that I feel the most comfortable in. No one shoe is going to, turn you into. It's not going to turn you into LeBron, unfortunately. I wish, or I would have done it. I got enough shoes back here. I would have done it. Nixter, what would you say is the best basketball shoe for jumping higher? Anything with a 4-foot plate. So Curry's, JB3, Way of Wade, probably the Way of Wade 11 right now is probably the best shoe for jumping out there, I would say. But remember, may not necessarily be the best shoe for landing. What is the logic behind Nike putting a plastic plate in the 4-foot? Oh, you know what? This is so funny. So I can't get into too much of this because I don't want to. What would be the way to say it? I don't want to invade anybody's privacy, but I did just have a patient with a really bad issue with that 4-foot plate stemming directly from it. I have no idea. I don't know why they've done that. I mean, if you have an orthotic in there, it's going to help with a lot of cushion, right? Like, I mean, honestly, I feel like the KD line, the 17, the 18, you almost need like a diabetic insert in there. Like a power step bridge would help. I don't even know if the Pinnacles would do anything against that thing. I mean, it's so much awkward force. I don't know what the thought, I mean, I know what the thought process is that it's like a springboard plate just for your 4-foot, for your MPJs, but come on. I mean, there's better ways to do it. I hate being like the call out person or stuff like that. Cause it is an interesting idea. I don't like it at all. Especially because there's nothing wrong with the KD line. Like the 14s, I think were one of the best shoes to come out in the last, 15 years. So good in so many ways. And then the 15s they weren't great, but they were good. I mean, they were okay. The 16s were fine. Why mess with, I'm sure, put it this way, if it's something that KD likes, like we've seen with the Tatums, like he's wearing almost exactly the shoes that you're seeing on the stock shelf. So if it really is what he wants, that's great. And I'd love to see some more explanation as to what, and does he have orthotics in there? What does he actually have underfoot in those? So I'd love to get a pair of his to cut open to see, because if it really is his signature shoe and that's what he wants, then that's really cool. But if I personally don't get it. I obviously am not the best basketball player in the world, as many of you have elucidated in the comments, but I don't understand it. Good afternoon from Tabasco. Good afternoon. Is this pre-recorded? I don't know if you'd see the live thing if it was. I've always used fast shoes like the Vapor 9.5. It's funny, like how the 9.5 was considered a fast shoe in like 2019. And now it's honestly, I don't even think it's considered that fast of a shoe anymore. How do you know if a shoe is a bad fit for you as you get older? 36. And I was wondering if I get more of my shoes. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I would just be, everybody wants to, I wish I could still play in something like the Vapors or the Barricades all the time and be fine. And a lot of times you can, if you've got the right orthotic in there. But I look for things, does the shoe have an adequate shank, right? Is it holding your arch up? Not holding your arch up, but is it holding the middle of the shoe stable? Is there enough in the forefoot that you're not bottoming through the court, right? Like you need something a little bit more than rock hard EVA in the forefoot. So, it just depends, to me, as you get older, especially, maybe not in your 30s like we are, but, as you get into your 40s and 50s, you got to start looking into things that are going to protect you against stress fractures. Right now in your 30s, it's probably more things like Achilles tendonitis and plantar fasciitis or things that are going to be the hardest on you, because right now your soft tissues are not as elastic as they used to be. And then as you get older and older, it becomes your bones aren't mineralized as well as they used to be. So it really is different in different stages. Typically, I say that as you get into your 30s, and I mean, really any time, but as you get older, you really got to look at what is directly underfoot, and that starts with the orthotic. And then it goes underneath, like what is the foam structure? How big is the drop in the shoe? How little foam or how little support is under the forefoot of the shoe? It's nice, like with Nike, if there's zoom in the forefoot, because it's idiot proof, right? If there is, I mean, I know the super thin Zoom Air units don't really do much, but like as long as it's a moderate size Zoom, like a normal size Zoom Air, it's like I said, it's idiot proof. As long as that's under there, I mean, as long as it doesn't pop, it's great. And then you've got other shoes, like New Balance with their fresh foam. Like it's hard to go wrong. Like, people always wonder why I'm just such like a fanboy of New Balance, and like why I stand for them so much sometimes. And it's because it's stuff that I can so repeatedly recommend to patients. And so if I can recommend your stuff to a patient a lot, I'm going to love it because it's making my life easier. So anyway, I had an ankle sprain last week and my ankle's still bruised. What should you do? You know what you need to do. That is go see a doctor and get an x-ray or potentially an MRI, because I have no idea. I can't look inside your ankle from the computer, but a doctor can, on an x-ray or an MRI. Interestingly, I've had a few patients this week with some really bizarre looking x-rays, things I could have sworn were things that stuff that I thought was one thing, and it ended up being like the bizarre zebra of something I've never seen before. And just in this week, it's weird. Like I feel like I've seen everything. Sometimes I've seen some, treating patients for over 10 years, and some stuff still surprises me. All right. Thanks for the content. You are welcome. No question saying thanks. Oh, I appreciate it. It's my favorite comments, ones I don't have to think about. What is a guaranteed solution for toe corns? There is no guaranteed solution for toe corns. Typically the ones between the toes, because the head of the one bone is rubbing up against the base of the other. And unless you find a way to reliably separate them, there's no way to do it. That's honestly, there's a ton of, you just segmented right into this, ton of strategies in this book for actually getting rid of those with tape, as well as pads and different spacers and things like that. So really kind of breaks it down into where the corn is and where the issue is. So check out the book, linked in the description below for launch week prices. But there is no guaranteed way, unfortunately. I wish I could say there was, but I would be I'd be a quack, which is what I got called in the comment section today on my barefoot shoe video, because God forbid I have a website with products on it. But hey, it's all engagement. Hey doc, what's your opinion on carbon fiber Victory insoles? Or the claims make you jump higher false? I don't know. I don't want to get into trouble. Because I know there was something that went down about that, and I'm not 100% sure. But I'll put it this way: carbon fiber gate plates can have a really beneficial effect in terms of a springboard plate. They also have some deleterious effects that you have to know about before you go into them. They definitely change the kinematics of your foot, change the way you jump off the ground. There are issues. There are pros and cons with them. I can just tell you what I do. I don't typically prescribe them. And I don't typically prescribe gate plates either. So I have a whole section on them in the book, actually, about gate plates and carbon fiber plates. So you can, I mean, I go into a whole super deep dive into here. But to make a long story short, they are for specific things, and anything that's changing your biomechanics that much, you really need to consult with somebody to look at your individual foot before you pull the trigger. That's all I'll say. I'm someone with, I'm guessing that's shin splints. Wondering if you recommend the 8085 Ultra for someone who plays volleyball and basketball. I mean, they're not bad for shin splints whatsoever. I think we're not going to really know what, oh my God, Super Boom. What's it called? Oh my God, the new boom foam. I'm like drawing a blank. It's been a long day of work. To me, looking at the material science of it, I haven't really seen a lot of white papers on that yet. So I'm not like, I don't want to make super sweeping statements about it because I haven't seen them in enough shoes yet, but I would say, yeah, they're good as of right now, from everything I know right now. Besides the Skechers extra wide pickleball sneakers, oh yeah, 4E width for anybody that wants widths in terms of pickleball, it's New Balance, the CT Rally 2E and 4E. Or is it the 760? Which one is the old man shoe that's got the nubs in the bottom? I think it's the 760. To me, it's all, to me, I go with New Balance in terms of the widths especially for pickleball. I will say the Selkirks come standard they're basically their standard size is a 2E too. So there's that, and they're actually priced really reasonably. So there's that too. But in terms of like a 2E shoe that comes in a 2 and a 4E, the New Balances are, yeah, I mean, like that's just where it's at. I know I just got a super chat and I will look for it. I'm trying to go in order, but I will make sure I get to it. I'm sorry. I know I just saw it pop up. My apologies. I'm sitting on the couch with every ligament torn in my ankle, do calf raises, and they help a lot. Yeah, it just depends on which ligaments are torn. Because the Sabrina 2s, the foam in the rear foot's a little soft, potential for a negative heel, which means more eccentric loading. Not that they're terrible, and with an orthotic in it, I think the risk really kind of comes down. But I have a video coming out really soon about Achilles ruptures in the NBA and all over professional sports, and I think that'll answer that question a little bit more. Appreciate you. Super unrelated, but what did you do to your hair? Search Foot Doctor Zach, I got a hair transplant, and that takes you through the whole video. So, Dr. Ozturk, that's his name, Dr. Ozturk, who actually works in Turkey, was, I guess, a fan of my videos and invited me to come down. He actually invented the pen that actually does the thing. So you can see, like, my hair is actually not, I mean, obviously I have a light right here that's coming right here, so it looks thinner than it really is. But like your real hair still, not your real hair, it's all my real hair, but my original hair up here is still thinning, right? The hair here is not subject to that male pattern baldness hormone. So none of this is ever going to go away. And all the stuff that they implanted is never going to go away. But my other hair is still is thinning. I mean, no one really can tell but me, but I can tell. And my pattern of baldness was just everywhere, right? Like I didn't have the Costanza where it was like right here and here where they could just implant it right here and then that's it, you're done. Mine was so diffuse that they even said like, you may have to come back in a few years, like do more or do PRP. And I just said, you know what, I don't care. Like I honestly enough. I mean, I went down there because they brought me down there and it was a phenomenal experience. It was so fun. That's the kind of stuff that like you dream about as a YouTuber, getting to take like a free trip to Turkey and, get your hair done. But, yeah, I mean, it's great. And he did a phenomenal job. If you're going to do it, the thing about like having it done, because people ask me like, should I just have my hair transplant in the States? Not many people do that procedure. And if they do, it's cost prohibitive. It's so expensive. Like, I couldn't afford it. Whereas there in Turkey, like it's way cheaper. Way cheap. Like the flight down is like the most expensive part of it. And they are like artists there. They're so good. They are so good. And the dude like practically invented the procedure. So, yeah, I don't even think I have a referral code anymore, but even without, no affiliate or whatever, maybe there is still an affiliate code on that video that works. I'm not sure if there is or not, but that's who I'd want doing it. I mean, he was just awesome. And he didn't even do it. It was one of his associates. And honestly, like they're all artists. They're phenomenal. They really take a lot of pride in their work. But thank you. Appreciate it. I'm recovering from a broken fibula. That's the bone on the outside of your ankle. Anybody doesn't know. And I'm a 4E, and I was wondering, great lifestyle shoe. Yeah, I mean, New Balance, to be honest. The 8060, is it the 8060? The one that like everybody wears with all like the canvas on top of it. That's what I would wear. But you really can't go wrong with a 4E and New Balance. Like it's hard to go wrong with that. I have hard heel bursitis and seems to cool down when I use the Game Day. Game Day, what's that? Is it just the Game Day or was that just a typo? Insole with my shoe. The problem is every sock I have slips on the insole. I mean, I don't know. Maybe the pair you have is just a little bit of a slicker upper. I mean, maybe if you got another one, it wouldn't do that. Or you just might need to wear socks that have just a little more grip on them. You could also use double-sided tape, but then it's gonna, do that. Or you could line the orthotic with a really thin adhesive neoprene. That's what I would probably do. That's actually, it's funny. Actually, that adhesive that's in the book. Wade 8085 Ultra for outdoors. I mean, if the outsole is as durable as they say, I'm not sure because I haven't had a long-term review with them, but they say the GCU is it's enough for outdoors. So I mean, I would trust it. I mean, Way of Wade to me is one of the few companies that like they put something on the website and it actually is what it is, and it's not, their technology is actually, there's not, put it this way, they use a lot of marketing jargon, but the marketing jargon they use actually matches up with what's in the shoe. So yeah, I mean, I would put it that way, but I'm also not that great of a player, so it's not really going to matter what I wear. Is the Vapor 12 a replacement for the Vapor 11? No. So the Vapor 12 is a replacement for the Vapor 10 and the Nike Vapor Pro. The 11's replacement, the 11 doesn't have a replacement. The 11's replacement is the Vapor Pro 3. They did away with the 11 line because it was a heavy mess of a shoe. So, I mean, if you want the Vapor 11 and an update, either buy old pairs of the Vapor 11 or go with the Vapor Pro 3. Which honestly, like I like the Vapor Pro 3 a little more than the Vapor Pro 2. So that's nice, but I still don't know why that shoe exists. To be honest, like they should have just made the Cage 5. And if you ask me, it's the Vapor Pro, let me say the Vapor 11, Vapor Pro 2, and Vapor Pro 3 are so similar to the Nike Vapor Cage 4 in all like the bad ways, but none of the good ways. Like it'd be great if they would have just updated the Cage 4 with all of its silhouettes. And then they would have had something really great. Maybe they will. Who knows? Nike can surprise you sometimes. New Balance Wave V5 is still at $67. You just answered your own question. Yeah. Halftime, Josh. Yeah, it's a massive steal. Are you kidding me? I mean, that shoe is a bargain at twice the price, at least in my opinion. GT Cut 3 or Book 1. Honestly, like neither, to be honest. Like I don't like either of those shoes. It would be nice if Nike put out Booker's PE with a lateral flange on it. I think and then I would say Book 1. Is the WOW All City 12 still one of the best outdoor basketball shoes? Sure. I mean, the All City 12, you mean the Encore with the All City 12 with the deeper rubber? Sure. Not the flat rubber. Although they say it'll last, but I'd rather have the deeper rubber channels. Which Way of Wade 808 is the most fit similar to the SPO Easy One of the Kobe 9 Pro Cho? I mean, they're all very similar in fit. I mean, the 808 4 Ultra V2, I think, is the one that will be the most similar to the Easy One. I just bought the Team Joker. Team Joker's great. Hope they do good. I live in Mexico and there's only asphalt courts over here. Yeah, I mean, I would think that's like that's the calling card for them. Your reviews helped a lot. Decided All City 13 volleyball. Thanks. Yeah, I hope they do well. All City 13 is a great shoe. I know a lot of people don't like the color, like not the colorways. I keep saying colorways. People don't like the aesthetics of it. I love it. I think it's cool. Like I think it's like super different. It's like these. Like people don't like where the Asics went with the crazy colorways. I love the crazy colorways. The Wave Momentum 3. Oh yeah. All right, Zach. I will. They're already cut open, so I might have to just. I might do that on. I might do that one on community post. Like I just might cut them open and put them on the community post and do a review. Sorry, I'm like way behind on these comments. Oh my God. Okay. Oh, I can see the super chats over here. Okay. My son Paul wants a shout out. Dad loves the jaw ones and day mates. Thank you for yours. You're welcome. Sorry for not getting to the things. I love my big three quick pro. How goes the Joker GT fit wise? The big three quick. No, I mean they're pretty. I think they're. I mean 361 shoes are very similar, all of them except for the DVD. They're all pretty similar fit. Baked. Best orthotic shoes for shin splints or jumpers knee. Just love your content. Congrats on the way low. So I appreciate it. Sorry, I just learned I can actually see the super chats on a different window. So I'm very sorry I didn't get to them before. So very sorry, Dan, Irwin, and Baked. What are the best? So the best orthotics to me are the Power Step bridges or a semi-flexible nylon or polypropylene orthotic. And in terms of jumpers knee, I would say, yeah, I mean, two-way V5 is great. Joker 1 GT is fantastic. KT10 is fantastic. All City 13 is fantastic. Even the, I'm thinking, yeah, I'd say those are probably the ones I would be going with. I mean, I'd love to say the BBV3, but who knows if it's ever going to come out anytime soon. Are you coming out with a summer guide for basketball shoes? You mean the ultimate guide? Yeah, I mean, we'll see. It just depends. I mean, yeah, gotta make sure it's fits in with the old schedule. Things are getting so busy in other aspects of my life. It's hard. Like I really only film twice a week now. I film all these videos like back to back. So it gets hard. I got to find a way to make this more sustainable for sure. Cause it's a lot with the day job and this and everything. It's and plus other stuff that I have going on and companies I work with. And it's crazy. I have accessory navicular syndrome. That's where the keystone bone of your foot, really one that makes the arch. Everyone says your arch. That's usually they think of the navicular. It's an extra bone on the side of it going on the medial side. A lot of times it creates tendonitis if you didn't know. Is there anything I can do when playing basketball to reduce the pain? Yeah, orthotics. Make sure you're in shoes that accommodate it. And if you can't get it to calm down with orthotics bracing, then unfortunately I've had to do quite a bit of removals on those. If you feel your knees, hips, and lower back, throw the shoe away. Yeah, or the orthotic away. Yeah. Dan, I finally got to your super chat in real time. Sorry about that. How do I feel about Brooks, specifically the adrenaline? Adrenaline's all right. I'm sorry. I like the adrenaline a lot. It's the Ghost that I think is okay. I actually recommend the Brooks Beast a lot for like my walking patients or like people that are just basically like doing like training runs, jogging, working out, like one shoe for cross training. I recommend the Beast quite a bit. The adrenaline, not as much, but it's fine. I have heel bursitis. I want to train on track this summer for conditioning as a basketball player. What quick speedy shoe for sprints, jumps, maybe lateral drills, not basketball. So that's like 3 different shoes. And for someone with heel bursitis, you just got to make sure that I'd say the orthotic is, like I said, you're talking about 3 different shoes. Are you going for like sprinting? Like you're going to be in something that's like a track, like a long distance track spike or like hybrid spike, or it kind of depends. I'm not, honestly, I couldn't say those. Like I said, those are 3 different shoes. If you're doing lateralizing work, you better make sure you got a shoe that goes lateral well. Zach is Benjamin Button looking younger. Yeah, it's amazing what a full hairline will do. And it's funny, like I used to grow my beard out to look older in clinic because I graduated from podiatry school or medical school I just turned 23. And I kind of always had a little bit of a baby face. And so I was really young. And so I always grew my beard's like, you've seen it. I mean, you guys have all seen me, like my beard's kind of like patchy over here and over here. And so I'd always grow it out. I don't know. I always kind of thought I looked stupid with it, but I grew it out to look older because I'd walk in the room and the patients would say the exact same thing every single time. Are you old enough to be a doctor? My grandson's older than you. Shut up. And so, and I just couldn't stand it. So I ended up growing the beard and I just never thought about it. And then the one day my wife was like, I'm sorry, but like you are scratching my face. And can you please just start shaving? And so I started shaving, and now all of a sudden, like now I'm like getting in like my older 30s. Like now I'm trying to look younger. So it's amazing what happens when you just shave. But yeah, I'll never forget that. Just every time I walk into a room, and you're a resident anyway, so you kind of have like this inferiority thing because you're the student, and you've got senior residents above you that are kind of always like just ready to pounce. You've got multiple attendings that are like, I mean, if you've ever watched any show about residency, usually they get it pretty right in terms of the pecking order. Like it's militant a lot of the time. And so you're always just getting beat on. And so you just want any edge you can get to just get you through the day a little bit better. Don't get me wrong. I loved residency. Surgical residency was the greatest time of my life. And it was, I mean, just fascinating. Like I saw things, I mean, no human should get to see, but I did. And it was really lucky. A lot of people trusted me with care on things that were just absolutely crazy. I remember I had external fixators on people's heads. I mean, I'm a podiatrist, but yeah, I mean, I was doing like head fixators. That was crazy. And it was just great. But yeah, I looked for any advantage I could, but then, my wife's like, please God, just shave. And so now I'm shaved and now everyone's telling me I look younger. So Zach, the author. Yeah, actually, this is my second book. This is actually book number 2. I published another one just to Amazon. This was like, I want to say like 7-8 years ago. And it was all on spider veins. And it's like a really niche book. It's only for podiatrists or like dermatologists, plastic surgeons that want to do spider vein removal in the lower leg and in the foot. And it's like an anatomy review of spider veins and my techniques. From what I know, I was one of the few that were doing it like podiatry. So I wrote a book on it, but I think that book sold like, I want to say like 80 copies total. Cause I mean, how many people are actually doing it? So, but yeah, you can find it on Amazon. It was the #1 selling book in like this really small, it was like in Hungary, a bunch of people were starting to do it. It was like before I was a YouTuber. Dr. Slim. Yeah, I'm like the Slim Reaper now. That is the best nickname for Katie, the Slim Reaper. But yeah, Dr. Slim. When is an autobiography coming out? I don't know if it's that interesting. You ask me any question you want. I'll let you know. I'm an open book. I'm not sure if it's book worthy though. I can tell you about all the times that probably the most interesting story of my youth is when I ran into a light post playing college tennis and gave myself a concussion and started going crazy on court. That was interesting. Let's see. Best orthotic shoes for so I answered that one. Okay. What is turf toe? It's basically ligament issues in your big toe joint. So when you hyperextend it, actually, some people call turf toe when you hyperflex too. And it's basically when you turn the ligaments of your big toe and becomes unstable, arthritic, things like that. Super boom. That's what it's called. Yeah. Sorry. What are the actual length and width of your feet? You're a size 11. I have to look. I think I'm like 27 something centimeters long, and width, I think I'm like 10.2 or something. I'd have to do it again. But my left foot is like 4E for sure. My right foot's 2E. J Tree wanted to ask about your book since she's mentioned it. I'm not familiar with what my foot would even need or even want. Does the book have discovery section on your foot may need? So yeah, I mean, basically that's the wear pattern section. So it basically shows you what to look for on the shoe in terms of wear pattern. Also, basically just what do you want out of the shoe? Do you want more like, there's one section for like step backs. Like, do you want to have more comfort with step backs? You want to protect your toes against step backs? Do you want, are you looking to get into, let's see, I'm trying to think of all the different things. So like I said, I would say, yeah, the discovery section is basically the wear pattern section and how you wear through your shoes. Other sections are how to protect against certain ailments that you might be prone to. Other ones are like the heel to toe drop on your shoes and what to look for and things like that. If you're having no pain, no issues, no nothing, then it's just an interesting read in terms of what are the limits of how you can customize your shoes at home. Like that's basically why I wrote the book, was trying to get a clear understanding of what actually are the limitations of what us that doesn't have a factory behind us. What can we do? What are the limitations that we can of shoe customization home? How far can you get a player exclusive at home? The answer is you can do a lot. I mean, you actually can customize a shoe to really, it's incredible. Like after I wrote it, I mean, depends on what device you're on, but I know like some device, like 300 pages of, I think there's like 42 videos within the book. I made exclusive videos just for it. And I was even surprising myself at times at how much you can change a shoe just with materials you can buy off Amazon, and stick it in there. So yeah, it's, I would say in your case, the entire book's a discovery section. Is there any reason I keep getting blisters on my foot because rubbing against the shoe, no matter what shoe I play, and how I prevent this? There you go. Right there. I got a whole section in the book about it. It's basically, you've got to figure out where you have too much room in the shoe. Where are you moving? Where is the shoe not fitting you properly? That's actually interesting. Like you could always upload pictures into the private group. You get the book and we can always talk about it and see, but, you can put, it's basically where do you put the pad? What pad do you put in? What material? Is it that you're getting too much heat in the shoe? Or you're heating the shoe up too much and you're blistering that way? Are you sliding too much? Sometimes it's as simple as putting like this little square thing on the one part of the tongue. It really is. It's easy. Other times it gets more granular. Like you got to make a pad that's in the shape of the metatarsal or whatever. Like I said, it's all in the book. But typically that is you're putting pads of varying shapes in different parts of the shoe to stop that micro motion in the shoe. Sometimes it's back in the heel counter, depends on where the blisters are. But yeah. Previous Achilles rupture, the Sabrina 2 is okay to wear. I wouldn't wear them. That's like the only ailment that I think they're really like not the best for, because of the Cushlon in the rear foot and then stack and how the heel height is versus the heel to toe drop. Like I said, I got a video coming out on it. I have a section in the book about it, but I would say maybe wait on getting them until I come out with the video. Then you can kind of see, and I hate saying it because I think the Sabrinas are just fantastic. And with an orthotic in them, I think they do a lot better for Achilles ruptures. It's just, that wouldn't be the first shoe I go to. Like, what's funny because like, then you go up to like the LeBrons, which is basically like the Sabrina 2 heavy, like, right. Like, there's like they have like the light version of the shoe. Like this, the LeBrons are basically the Sabrina 2 heavies. And so, but those are okay because I got zoom in the rear foot. And as long as the zoom doesn't pop, it's going to stay buoyant and then the drop is going to be consistent. So, yeah. Sorry. I used to play outside in the Zion shoes and I love that shoe. Do you know which ones not sure. Yeah, I don't measure feet in inches, so I don't even know what you're talking about. I always use centimeters. It's the American or the imperial system is so stupid. Why do we use inches? And it's like, yeah, because we get multiples of 12 and you can divide by 3 and 4. Cares? Because like in the medical community, we always use metric, always, and it's so much easier. Let's see. How come the Way of Weight 11 is just much more expensive compared to other shoes they make? I don't know. I mean, the materials are pretty cool. I mean, it's the engineering's there. I don't know. I mean, it's their flagship shoe. Why is any shoe more, some more expensive? It's, it's only worth what someone pays for it. Put it that way. I look leaner. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's been a battle. Oh my God. Anybody that is like me, that's been basically dieting since they've been out of the womb, knows it's a battle. Yeah, don't worry. I'll gain it back. Don't worry. I used to love my Zion 2s to play outside. Do you have any recommendations, shoes to replace them? I have a whole list. I mean, check out my top 5 section. Top 3 shoes. So I have a whole video on this. But I like anything really. I mean, honestly, like my favorite probably for flat feet's the two ways. Joker GTs are great. Actually, no, I'm sorry, the Joker GT, the KT10. Check out the KT17. Go watch my video, and you'll get the answer real quick. And I have no idea what you want out of the shoe, so it's hard. It's impossible for me to answer those kind of questions. If you're a lighter player, you should look for light shoes as well. Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't. So put it this way: like I wouldn't be in a boat, But remember, if you're a lighter player and you got super strong legs, that's much different than a heavier player with, Pillsbury Doughboy legs, right? Like, I mean, if you've got leg strength and you can handle a heavier shoe, right? Then you get the durability and the comfort that all these heavier shoes come with. If you're a lighter player that does not want to lug around a shoe, remember, if you're a lighter player, you have less pressure coming down, especially on a tennis court, which is a lot of side to side movement, and remember, in tennis, you're spreading the load out a lot on your shoes more than basketball. So, or volleyball. And so, or even pickleball. I pickleball, you're putting a lot of pressure on the front part of your shoe. So in tennis, I think you can get away with it more, but it is still personal preference. If to me, if I'm lighter and I can handle a lighter shoe and I don't need the cushion and everything like that, then yeah, I mean, you're going to get a little bit more of a nimble product, which is great. Okay, I can't have answered this question. Put user in timeout. Okay. Let's see, a bunch of stuff about Turkey. Already talked about that. What is the layman term for snake bitten foot? A painful foot, a hurt foot, an injured foot, anything like that? Just panacea, just a hurt foot. Yeah, Jokers are great. Talk about a debut shoe. Oh my God. What do I say at the end of my videos? Respect your rubber and foam. I'll see you somewhere in the sneakerverse. I don't know why I say that either. I started saying it one day and then that's it. But yeah. It's just, just something I started saying. Because you know why? I was going to start a podcast, the Sneakerverse podcast. And it's like, how many things can I possibly do? And then I just kept saying it and it just, stuck. And now it's just rote, right? As soon as I press the record on the exit on the last thing, it just comes out. It's hard for me to say anything else. There. Okay. Not going to answer if you've asked the question 3 times. Sorry. It's just not fair to everybody else. I'm going through them. So, I mean, I'm trying to get to every question. So, yeah, no need to, please chill on the spamming. Jonathan, how's it going, man? Good to see you. I've also been experiencing a tremendous amount of plantar fasciitis, so enjoying something halfway between the Zoom Air and Light Strike. Thanks. Yeah, there you go. Oh, that was actually a super chat. Appreciate the super chat. Did I get other super chats I've missed? Yeah, sorry. All right, I'm gonna go to the super chats. I have the New Balance BBV3 and the Kawhi 4, the Kawhi 5. I don't know. I mean, the Kawhi 4 just got a bunch of new colorways, so I don't know. The BBV3, I don't know what's going on there. And I don't know a lot of people at New Balance, but I know people, and I know nothing. So I don't know. I mean, maybe the wear testers people, I know they've gotten invited there for stuff I've seen on their Instagram page, like where they're at the headquarters, like maybe they would know. I have no idea. I mean, talk about fumble in the bag though. Like you got like one of the best shoes ever in the BBV2. Like you think you would come out with that next one quick, like let's keep the gravy train rolling, right? You think, so let's get the profit going, but who knows? Let's see. I know it's not really of expertise. Would you ever consider reviewing any protective gear such as knee braces and sleeves? So I don't know about knee braces and sleeves because it's kind of outside. I mean, I know what to look for. I mean, maybe I'd bring an orthopedic surgeon on to talk about it, but no, not me. Because I mean, that's kind of. I mean, I guess I can. I have a working knowledge of what you need, but I mean, I'm nowhere near what a good sports orthopedic surgeon would tell you. What is the secret to weight loss? Eating less than you burn. Really, I mean, it's just it's not eating out of boredom at the end of the night. I would say that is the secret. Um, yeah, any kind of shoe, and I'll put it this way, and also just like getting sick of crippling back pain. That's, you know, that's that. I was getting horrible back pain. Oh my God. Any similar to the 361 5.0 Quick Pros stop shipping to the US? Not really. I mean, the 6.0s just came out. I mean, 361 still shipping in the US. I just got a pair of the 6.0s. I mean, you should be able to get them. I mean, either try Kick's own. They're shipping to the US. 361USA.com. They have them. I would think. Timeouts. All right. I have a video on this coming out, why so many people are busting their Achilles. Stay tuned. I actually am I honestly, it's taking me a while to script it because I'm going down so many rabbit holes on it because there's so much to this that you don't see because a lot of the issues are happening not at the professional level. And I have just been going down some research rabbit holes. Thank God for ChatGPT being able to synthesize some of the articles that are behind page. I used to be able to get access to all these articles back when I worked for a hospital system, and now like I can't. And I need like some of the actual data points. And oh my God, thank God for that. Like I can actually like go back and forth and actually nail down the research on it because there's so much research on it that isn't just directly tied to basketball and Achilles injuries, but that makes a lot of sense with it. So you'll see the video. I gotta get this thing down like under 30 minutes. I mean, right now this video is at like 35 minutes, I think. And I gotta get it down to more of a manageable video for me because I know that barefoot shoe video, I think it took me like 3 hours to record, and by the end of it, I had no voice. So yeah, I gotta get that down. Okay. What do I think of Soul Orthotics? I thought it's been a while since I had one in hand. They were okay. I'll just put it this way. If you see a brand on the channel that is sponsored or that I've reviewed, that means that I use it. If I don't review it or you never see it on the channel, it means that I don't. I will only ever take a sponsored thing from orthotic companies I've actually used because, believe it or not, I can get in trouble for that as a physician, even though even though I get comments saying I'm a shill and this and that, like, no, it's the other way around. So there's a few brands, and I have all the brands I use in the book right there. It's available right now on footdoctorzach.com. I have all the brands I actually use in the book, and there's a reason why I use them because I've had success. So, all right. So these are questions that are interesting. There is no one best shoe. There is just a best shoe for you. If you want that like full length carbon fiber plate, really springy jump feel of the 11s, then that's where you go. If you want more of the all city feel, like the side to side, more nimble, stable shoe of the 13s with the outsole tread that the 13s have, you're going to want those. But you got to look at both shoes and then see which one gels with you the most. I can't, God, sorry, not this question, but just people spamming. So like I said, sorry, I'm trying to hide people, so I'm not seeing all the spam stuff. So anyway, it just really depends like what you want out of the shoe. How long do you do reviews for? Being with the Caribbean, having to import everything, you save me trouble buying duds, being depressed about how long? Wait, how long am I going to do shoe reviews for? Yeah, I know that's actually a very interesting question. I think as long as it's sustainable, I mean, even right now, it's kind of it's very unsustainable for me as a solo creator to try and pump out 3 reviews a week. It wasn't that big of a deal when we were like, when I didn't have anything else, like for that year when everything was getting built, the office, and I was kind of getting my other business set up and and the consulting and things like that. And it was so easy because I mean, I just, what else do I have to do all day? I'm going to review shoes. And so it was way easier to get stuff done. And having the studio, my new studio, that made it so easy. And then that's actually what's made it the hardest now. I mean, this is a new studio. This is cinder block. This isn't the corrugated steel of my old studio. So I've moved into a new studio now. And one of these days I will turn the camera on and show you what this room looks like. It doesn't look like this, but it's an interesting room. But that was because that studio was like 10 minutes away from where I lived and like 30 minutes away from my other office. And I'd get all the way out to the studio to film. And then I get a call, hey, there's a nail in someone's foot. They need to come back in and take it. So then I'd drive all the way back. And then it's, I wouldn't get off of work till 7 p.m. And I'd have a video that would need to get done the next day, or, something, a video needs to come out. And so I just had to move closer to the office. And so this is just a temporary space. I'm actually going to be building my own studio that I own, not rent, probably in 2026. So that'll be coming down the pipes. This is probably going to be a few months of this here until I kind of figure out what my real needs are. But in terms of how long I can keep doing shoe reviews, I don't know. God, next week I might not be able to do shoe reviews. I have no idea. I'll probably always take a look at, as long as I have this channel, I'll always take a look at the bigger releases, just, out of my own morbid curiosity, right? Even if I didn't have a channel, I'd still be looking at them, just because I'm just curious. But yeah, I mean, I don't think people realize like a YouTube channel this is the most work I've ever done. I mean, I work more on this than I work more hours doing YouTube than I did as a surgical resident. And I worked a lot of hours as a surgical resident. Obviously that work was a lot more stressful. This is a breeze. I mean, this is nothing compared to, this is like playtime compared to that. But the amount of work and the amount of things you got to keep straight in your head. And someone like me who has letters behind their name, which is great. It gives me like, some channel authority and some respect and that's nice, but it also puts you under a microscope. And so any little misspeak I have just gets crucified in the comment section. That's why I don't respond to as many comments anymore, is because I'm just like, I'm so sick of every little thing I say kind of getting thrown back in my face sometimes. Like a lot of times now, like I'll read comments for a while, or I'll do like, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna look at comments like 5 minutes. I'm gonna respond for like 5-10 minutes, and then I'm not looking at them, just because it can get a little brutal. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot, but yeah, I mean, this channel will be in existence for as long as I can justify it, basically, and, I try to do things that make it more sustainable, like write the book and do this kind of thing to make it more sustainable. So yeah, as long as it is, as long as I can, put it that way. Yeah. Go get a Brannock device and look at what your foot shape is, right? So get the width. I have a video on how to do it. This book actually has the updated version of like how to do it and how to correlate your size with heel to ball versus heel to toe. But yeah, I can't tell you, I'm not going to name the company, but there are places out there that sell shoes for money that put you on these devices that look like it's something out of Wall-E, right? These super advanced, what's the name of the company that takes over the world in Wall-E? I forget. It's going to drive me nuts. But it looks like one of those devices, right? And they do all these foot scans and they tell you this and this shape, and they've got these diamonds everywhere that mean nothing. And then I'll come into the office and I'll take a Brannock device that I've had, I swear to God, since podiatry school, right? I mean, it's like this old creaky thing. I've just never gotten rid of it. It's like almost like it's almost like a security blanket for me. It's like my kid's stuffed animal. And I'll take it out and the size is like 1.5 or 2 sizes off. So I would just make sure the person that is measuring your foot knows what they're doing. And if it doesn't pass the sniff test, like if they measure your foot and they put you in a shoe and it fits like a clown, or it fits like a clown car, 2 different things, just, go somewhere else, put it that way. So yeah, just because you go to some place, these super advanced things, I see they give me these printouts and it's, I'm looking at all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, this is great. This is great. This is great. It's all wrong. Okay. Like, so, I mean, and sometimes it's accurate, but to me, there is nothing like just taking out a tape measure, measuring your foot, right? And going on, and then correlating that on a Brannock device. And if the 2 correlate, you're 99% sure this is your size. And then if one doesn't, then like, do I have a longer second toe? Is my heel to ball much bigger than my heel to toe? Do I have short toes? Whenever I say someone's got a short foot or a long foot, that means they have long toes or short toes. So like, what's going on here? And so a lot of people no one has a normal shaped foot. That's why I get crazy with the barefoot evangelist, because there is no foot shape. Everyone's got a different shaped foot, right? Even though I love barefoot shoes, I love quote unquote anatomic shoes. I love them. But the marketing and the science behind them is just, it's out there, because there is no one shape. There is no one normal. There's only a normal for you. So that's my soapbox. That being said, like I said, love barefoot shoes. I love anatomic shoes. I think they got a great place. But there's no one normal. Put it that way. Okay. Is there a Yonex Sonic Cage 3 but more support? I mean, if you want Yonex, I'd go with the Eclipsians if you want more support. That you got to ask your physician that did it, because did they do a tightrope on your ATFL and CFL? Did they try to get the PTFL? I mean, like what did they do? I mean, typically I'm not going to give medical. I mean, I'm not going to tell you what to do, because I'm not getting into medical advice stuff. I will tell you that it really does come down to what structures were replaced, and, was the doctor confident in the fixation of the tightrope? And, so I definitely, that would be something you'd actually have to come into my office and have to test your ankle to tell you. Have I ever played padel? Yeah, actually I have. Not unless I can get him reliably here, and I can, I mean, I might do like a big padel review, like just like a big, like expose, this isn't Dateline, but like a big thing, like here's what to look for, right? Because I actually have the ASICS Gel Resolution 10 paddle shoe, which is so cool. It is such a cool shoe, and I still haven't done the review on it, because like I kind of wanted to do like a big time review, so we'll see. But yeah, I mean, at some point I'll get into the subject for sure. Do you think that the rash Achilles injury is anything to do with low cut sneakers? No. Because what's funny, Jason, is you got people saying it's from low tops. Then you got people saying it's because of the high tops, right? People say, well, the low tops allow too much mobility. Then people say, well, the high tops don't allow enough mobility. Well, which one is it? It's neither. So we'll talk about it. What is your opinion on basketball shoe development over time? It seems like big brands recycle their best shoes with less tech and inferior materials. Sometimes. I think, we're kind of in the same phase with shoes we are with with smartphones. You're not seeing the huge jumps. It's incremental change right now. I think there are some things that are coming out that are nuts, like the new rubbers, or not even rubber science, but urethane science. And that's really interesting. some of the new foams, like some of the new leaning foams that are coming out are pretty insane. I don't know. I know what you're getting at. Put it that way. I know what you're getting at, but I don't know how much, we're going to see more of just recycling versus new tech. But at the same time, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. There's a lot of things that are good out there of modern basketball shoes. And I think it's at some point you'll see the next step up, but we'll see. Tendonitis on the top of her foot, that doesn't tell me anything, Greg. So I'd need to know like what tendon. Because if it's the tibialis anterior, you're talking about shin splints, or that's tibial fasciitis. If it's insertional, if it's not FHL, EHL or EHB, or if it's EDB, there's or EDL. I mean, there's all sorts of tendons up there. See, I might get them all confused in my head. So there's a ton. So I'd need to know. Darren Wang, how is my health? My health is better than it's been in a while. Fine. Yeah. I mean, what is it? It's the kilometer, right? Yeah. That's funny. Yeah. What's the kilometer? They always have those in the F1 memes. Sabrina 2 with the power step pinnacle still gives me arch pain sometimes. Got the LeBron 21 even without the insoles. Yeah. It's the same reason, right? It's the drop of the shoe. It's the shape of the shoe. It's the way your foot moves within the shoe. So yeah. John is $36.99 and it's on the website. That's for this week. That's until Sunday. Then the price goes up to the normal price. It's on all the other sites right now. But it's $36.99. Shoe customization and lower leg taping for athletes. Okay. Let's see. Sorry, I am trying to get all these. Who do I think will end up with more Grand Slams, Sinner or Alcaraz? Yannick Sinner. Game Day Pros or Power Step Pinnacles for Achilles tendonitis relief. Game Day Pros. To me, it's the Pinnacle because it's got more arch support, so it's going to allow less motion and toggling. But it's whatever, it's whatever works best with you. If it's me, I'm doling out the Pinnacle or a brace, or taping or things like that. There's some really simple Achilles tapings that work better than probably both of those. Heads up, you're looking for cheaper than normal NB basketball shoes. Joe's you know what? I got so many comments about this, about Joe's New Balance having the BBV2s too, and they're cheaper. So yeah, I mean, I don't have no affiliation with them. I don't know Joe. But yeah. Good call, whoever found that. Thanks, Sips, to the B-Icon and Tornios. Oh, B-Icon's the best. Love them. Yeah, so defensive shoes, anything that really, I mean, honestly, like you're looking for things that have really stable forefoot movement because like, you're kind of, you're moving backwards, but then like you're leaning for like, if you look at like any like still images of like defense, like, you got guys like, or women like pushing into the swell of someone else's back and like they're up on the balls of their foot. And like the movement patterns going backwards they're different than forwards. So you need something that's stable in the forefoot, but that doesn't have a super narrow rear foot. Cause like if you kind of get rocked back, you don't want to be. So I'd say super stable in the forefoot and look for a shoe without a super narrow heel. Have I lost weight? It's all movie magic, man. It's all movie magic. Camera takes away 15 pounds. When do I retire a pair of shoes? No more than 500 miles. But I have a whole video on it. So if you look at Foot Doctor Zach throws shoes away or Foot Doctor Zach, how long do shoes last? It'll come up. And it really hasn't changed since I made that video. It's like 4 studios ago I made that video, but yeah. Yeah, everyone says the BBV3s are coming out very soon, but they've been saying that they're supposed to come out in April, and we're at Memorial Day. So, BB3s, they have colorways all ready to go, just getting the photos and webpage done probably. Oh, probably. Yeah, you don't know. because that's what everybody says. So this is subjective. Like, what kind of cushion do you want? Do you want more dense cushioning? Do you want something like the AG4, AG5? Do you want something like the BBV3? Do you want something with Zoom? Like, there's no best cushioning for forefoot. There's worst. There's really bad forefoot stuff. There's rock hard forefoot shoes out there, but and that's, yeah. So it just depends what you want. Yeah, really, you're looking at shoes that are best for shock absorption. Just look at the shock absorption section in the Ultimate Basketball Shoe Guide. Let's see. Recovering from a grade 2 ankle sprain. Does that mean grade 2 in terms of you partially tore, or that mean that you tore the ATFL and the CFL? So just, I want to say, it doesn't really kind of matters. Yeah, for side-to-side movement right now, I don't think you can get better than the Blue Shield Torneo 3s. The CT rallies are really good too, but the Torneo 3s are one of the best shoes ever for that. So yeah. Let's see. How would you retail the Nike KD14? Now that I'm ranking shoes. Oh, rate. Have you thought about having an all-time ranking? I don't know, maybe. I don't know. I have to go back in and look. Put it this way, it would probably be north of 35. I think the durability would be one of the worst things on it. Playability 5, right? I'm sure the bounce would probably get like 4, 4.5, 5. Shock absorption on them is great. Support, you need an orthotic in them, so support's going to lose a point here or there. Comfort up there. Maybe north. Yeah, I'd say, definitely above 35 for sure. I should get a pair and like revisit them, because they're so good. Oh my God. I should get a pair of those Ant Pearl ones. That pale pink. I like those. This is the easiest question I've gotten all night, and it's BOA closure. I know somebody that does a lot of shoe manufacturing for a small company. And he said, BOA, is not as expensive as you think. So it just takes more time to integrate the BOA into the shoe because you got to map the shoe out more. BOA closure, BOA, BOA closure. It's the most underutilized thing on the market. Watch my first shoe review, the Adidas Stycon BOA. It's my first review, and I talked about it then. I was like, this is the best. Why are people not doing it? Back in when I was a young whippersnapper on YouTube. And I still say the exact same thing, BOA. All right. Wow, I'm just coming up on some comments now from like 20 minutes ago, and people I've hid from thing, they were spamming all the way down to here. Yeesh. Leonard, I really don't care. Not being mean. I don't care if it's mid or low cut. Like, they both serve a different purpose. And I think if you do one, I'm going to stand. I can't stand sitting anymore. God. I think they both serve, their purpose, right? One's more nimble. One's just going to give you a little more proprioception. I prefer mids. I like the feel of a mid. I have a really high arched foot, so I like the way it feels on me, but that's to each your own. There is no one best. Like I said, there's people out there like, mids are causing this, or highs are causing this, or lows are causing that. It's all nonsense. So I have not reviewed them, so I have no idea. Just want to pick your brain. What Nike shoe comes first to mind for a college player with high arches and ball of foot pain with custom orthotics and a wing? Geez, that's mouthful. Really, to me, the LeBron 21s are probably the best Nike basketball shoe that's come out in a long time. And that's really the only ones I've been recommending recently to patients like with issues and stuff. Well, I review more New Balance shoes this year. I feel like I review a New Balance shoe like every day. I feel like people are going to start calling me an industry plant for New Balance and Diadora. I review so many of them. But hey, they come out with interesting stuff. I'm going to review it. Will I review more slides? I don't know. I mean, I've got my own, I've got the Xenons. So I don't know. And like a lot of the slides nowadays, like they're just scrap foam. So, I mean, they're all kind of the same. If you like scrap foam slides, then pick one that's on sale, right? My buddy Noah, who I did the Xenon slides with, he sent me a pair of like Antas. Like Anta's got a foamer now, and they were like $20. And like that's all like Anta's like, super premium foams. They were weird. Like they were super big. He was like, hey, like, what do you think of these? Like, because we were always just looking at shoe tech and stuff together just to, that's like what we talk about. And I got them and I was like, yeah, they feel okay. And then like my foot starts getting real warm in them, but then I've gotten some other foamers out there. It pretty much, put it this way, all the new ones, like just the foam only, even the Nike Rejuvenates, which I just did that review on. I compared those to the Crocs. They are warm. Like they heat your foot up and they feel good. React X is not, I like React X. And I think the slides are going to be nice. It's just that they're sticky. Like they're literally like they stick to my foot. Like you got to wear like sandals with them. And it's interesting because, like with these, like the Xenons, like we have this coating on here to stop that. And so I know, and it's cheap. Like this was not an expensive part of this sandal to make. And so I'm guessing it's because it's just so much, it's like puffier foam. So it's trapping more heat. And I think that's why, but I think with all the foamer slides, like they're all kind of birds of the same feather. So take that for what you will. So I think if there's something different that comes out, then I will, I think kind of just for intellectual honesty, I'd probably have to do it. But I mean, as long as I kind of still have one in the market, like, I don't know, get the Xenon. But yeah, I mean, in all seriousness, yeah, I mean, if something new comes out, like the React X, I will. What is your opinion on the fact that a certain creator makes positive reviews while not disclosing they are sponsored? It seems like a way of fooling. I don't know who that is. The fact that I don't know for a fact that anybody, are you talking about basketball, tennis, running? If somebody can tell me who is being accused, I mean, I might be able to defend them too. I mean, I know a lot of the people in the space. Most of them are actually have pretty decent integrity. I mean, so yeah, I mean, you have to let me know who it is. I honestly don't even know who you're talking about. Yeah. Funny thing is I get accused of that all the time, even though I say the exact same thing at the beginning of every video where a company sends me a shoe. I'm sure you probably just put in the comments in the chat. You probably know exactly what I say at the beginning of every video. And I still get accused of like being a secret sponsor. I think in the history of this channel, I think I've had like 3 sponsored reviews. One was the 44 words. The other one was the, blanket. It was so long ago. The Under Armour Slip Speed. And those were awesome. Oh my God. Like I'm glad they paid me for that review. They were great. And then there was one other one. I don't know which one it was. I'd never do a sponsored basketball or tennis review, like individual. Like I just wouldn't do it. But what were we talking about? Oh, the person who's doing sponsored reviews and not disclosing it. I don't know who you're talking about. So I don't know of anybody that does that, but if you are, then yeah, I mean, not great. It was like the same thing with like Insta360, like where all those people with that camera reviews and people were getting in trouble with that. I mean, it's, yeah, you want YouTube to stay a place for, like actual authenticity. So yeah, I mean, obviously you don't want to see that, but, I don't know anything of that for a fact, because I know a lot of people get accused of things, like I said, including me, and I don't, and I've been offered, I remember one time someone was like, we want to pay you like $30 to review this show. I'm like, keep your $30. I run barefoot on the beach, run 40 miles a week, doing half marathons soon, and wondering if it's a good idea to stick with minimal barefoot type cushioning. Remember, this is interesting because you just you just basically said exactly what I say in the video. The human foot was meant, right? Like the human foot is meant to walk on sand, soft earth, tundra, and dirt. It is not made to run on asphalt, cement, or concrete. I don't know of any cave drawings where people were like playing basketball right on asphalt. So it really depends. because if you've trained your foot on sand, that is not the same as asphalt. You're going to have a totally different experience. So I would just exercise extreme caution. Put it that way, extreme caution. The health of the patient is more important. I mean, YouTube is maybe just a hobby. Oh, yeah. I deserve my own shoe brand. I mean, I kind of have one. I mean, it's not my own brand, but like the Xenon Zen, like the slide. I mean, this is straight out of my brain. I mean, Xenon is Noah Steinberg's company. I mean, but this is as close as you're going to get right now as the sandal. And once these run out, I mean, I think this is probably going to be it with these sandals. I don't know how we get a V2 made. I mean, these are like, we're stretching the price point at where it is now. And then with all the tariff nonsense, I mean, even with the lower like 30% tariffs and the 10% and everything like that, small companies, especially soft goods, like I'm like, if you're Apple, okay, great. Like you get the exemption and stuff. And, if you're bigger companies, you can eat it. But like, who are these things really hurting? They're hurting small business. And for someone like me, who, man, like every little piece of margin, it makes a huge difference because you got to put the money up front to do these. And having a company like Xenon, who is like, this like super reputable company in the paddle space. I mean, and Noah, the CEO of Xenon, the guy who runs the company, is like the most like trustworthy dude out there, and like just won't cut a corner and doesn't want to, make a cheaper product or, source materials that suck. And so people like me then get hosed because of that. So it's like, and it's, I've seen like people saying like, oh yeah, well just eat the tariffs, so, cause I was supposed to have 2 other product lines come out this year. Both of them either delayed or flat out canceled because of the tariff stuff. So I'd love to start my own shoe brand. I'd love to do my own stuff. I've got some ideas for orthotics, for shoes, for shoe accessories. I mean, I got so much in my brain that I'd love to get out. It's just that, we're going to have to get over the tariff nonsense before that happens. So I do still have one thing coming out, hopefully by Christmas time, that should be good. I'm not going to disclose it yet because I have an NDA on it. And that's probably going to be it. Like that's probably all I will do in terms of product until there's more certainty in the market. I'm just going to focus on the slides that we have and selling those and making sure people like those and making sure that product is well represented. And then, obviously the digital product, like the book I wrote, this is kind of, I think, where is kind of going to be my wheelhouse, besides the one project I have going now in the soft goods space. So I'm really glad. Appreciate that. Yes. Liking and subscribing is always great. Even though like I don't like any video, like I've never liked a YouTube video. Isn't that funny? Like I just never thought to do it because I watch YouTube on my TV. It's like hard to do it. Even like creators I love, like ones I support on Patreon and things like that. Like I've still never actually clicked the like button, which is nuts. Yes. No. I mean, it's a barefoot shoe. There's not much. I mean, reviewed it once. I mean, there's not going to be much that changes about them. Let's see. Oh yeah. Looking at your foot, putting on a treadmill. Yeah. I mean, if they know what to look for, that's great. But I also like on a treadmill, sometimes like you're not doing what you would do walking up and down either. Like it is a little bit different, at least from my experience. Okay. By and large from Wally. That's right. Sorry. I'm like 10 minutes behind on these comments. I should just. I don't know what rocker. The Witness 8 doesn't have a rocker, does it? I have no idea. To have a rocker that facilitates. I mean, a basketball shoe with a rocker is like an ankle sprain waiting to happen. Any specific shoe recommendations to wear with an A2DX? Yeah, I think the KT10s would fit it. Remember the A2DX? Watch my review on it. I think the title is Why Steph Curry Wears This Specific Brace. The underside of it is just, it's cloth. I mean, it's not cloth. Like it's like a neoprene almost material. It's thin. Like it fits in shoes better than Orthotics does. You can wear it in any shoe. Put it this way: if Steph Curry can fit an A2DX and a Curry, you can fit it in like anything. I've never had a problem getting an A2DX in any shoe I've put it in. Put it that way. Like they are. I almost feel like the A2DX is like as easy as, like easier than the A1 to put in shoes. So yeah. Check out my top 5 video. I got that right in there. Let's see. I do review running shoes. Noel. I know guys named Noel and Noel. So sorry if I mess around. But yeah, I have a bunch of them. Do I think Nike bounces back in terms of technology? God, I don't know. You know, it's interesting. They switched CEOs. And, you know, I think Nike knows where they make their money, and that's on the sneakers app, and that's on limited releases of retros. And I don't know. I really don't know. They've got the most R&D. They've got the biggest back catalog of stuff. I mean, put it this way. Go watch my review of or anybody's review of the LeBron 19 and watch the LeBron 21 and 22. Tell me you couldn't fit elements of that 19 and build on those elements in newer shoes. That would be, you know, just something right there. Nike's, you know, I remember right around like 2021, just defending Nike a lot, saying like, at least they're trying new things. Like people would just be, because people always get on Nike. Like they're always on Nike because that's just the biggest company. So they're going to get the most complaints. And I remember vividly in the comment section being like, at least they're trying stuff. Like at least they're experimenting. And now it feels like they're not doing that. And I feel like you're not going to get the breakthroughs unless you do the experimentation. So I hope they put it this way, maybe not in terms of technology and new tech, but like experiment with what you got, experiment with different formulations, experiment with different combinations. And I think that's where they get back. But right now, I think the Chinese companies, I think Li Ning, I think 361, Anta, I want to say it's right now, it's 361 and Li Ning, I think are just, they're pulling ahead. I think New Balance is right there too. New Balance isn't tech heavy. They just know how to make the best of simple stuff. Like they are the workhorse type shoes, and I think they're the best ones at it, and they can do it for a price that nobody else does. I don't know how, but they do. And I think those 3 brands are kind of Diadora in the tennis space for sure as well. Can't forget them in the tennis space. I think those 4 are kind of, they're on their own right now. And you've got some kind of getting close following. But I think those 4 brands are on their own right now in terms of how good stuff is getting. I wanted to be a foot doctor years ago before college, but I'm thinking about pursuing it. Any advice? Make sure that you enjoy being around people and talking a lot, and you really gotta love it. Put it that way. It is a calling, it's not a job. I like it because if you haven't been able to tell by now in all my videos, I get super excited and animated. I love this stuff. I've loved it since the second I cracked open a textbook for it. But that's what you need to get through it, because it is not easy. Nothing in medicine is. It is a tough. I mean, remember around 2020 when we were all getting called, what were we everyone was saying like we were getting paid every time someone got a shot or this and that. And I mean, we're always the scapegoats for everything. And it's expensive to be a doctor. It's expensive to get student loans. I mean, it took a Herculean effort to pay my student loans off. And most of people I know still don't have it. You got to live like a pauper for a while. And it's not as glamorous, as it used to be. I remember back in the heyday of medicine when doctors were like the stuff you see like in memes, right? They're driving their Ferrari up to the clinic, and nowadays it's just not like that. So don't do it for the money, put it that way. I mean, you make it, you make a comfortable living for sure, but you gotta love it, put it that way. You gotta like being around people. If you don't like being around people, or if you don't like the subject matter enough to be around, because you deal with the public a lot. That is the one thing that they never teach you in school, is how to deal with the public. And I think that would be the biggest thing. You got to make sure you like that. But honestly, I don't know like what I would do if I wasn't, a podiatrist. Like I don't know what I would do. Let's see. Joe is gone. Oh, Joe's gone. New Balance bought him out. New Balance owns Joe's. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I was wondering how they got all that stuff. Yeah, the BBV3 has great arch support. It's not as stable as the V2 side to side, I thought. But once it breaks in, it's probably, a little bit better. The uppers get better for sure. I think the 9s are, I like the 9s a lot more. Me personally, I know some people like I said, most people that I know that like the 10s are women. And I think, like I said in the review, I think it's the cut of the women's model. It's more one-to-one. So like I said, I like mids. I love the idea of a mid in the tennis space. Put it this way, super interested to see what the 11 looks like. Super interested to see. Doesn't matter. 500 miles is 500 miles. Would I ever consider cutting back on basketball shoe reviews and review more of the brand's more popular shoe models? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. What is my death row meal? Full course. That is a great question. That is really good. I don't know. It sounds stupid, but probably hot wings. Drink Pepsi Max or Pepsi Zero. They call it now. They still call it Max in Europe. It tastes different in Europe too. It tastes like the old Pepsi Max, MAX. Dessert cheesecake for sure, or like Swedish fish on top of cheesecake. But yeah, I'm a huge hot wings fan, like to the point like where I'll kill my throat with them. But yeah, I'd probably say wings. Let's see here. There was a place in Slippery Rock that used to have the best wings. I don't know if Neff, if you're in the stream, you'll probably know. Forget what it was called, but we used to go there like on Tuesday nights, and it was like 10-cent wings. Oh my God. Those were the days. Wouldn't gain a pound. I was playing tennis like 2-4 hours a day. Oh God, I was pounding those wings. That's what it would be, those wings with that really bad blue cheese that they used to use. Let's see. All right. I am going to move down a little more. I'm thinking of getting the curries. I don't know what's better. If you like them, then they're good for you. Let's see. I have some months left before I need a new basketball shoe. Excited for anything releases soon. Am I excited for anything releases soon? That is one of the better questions I've heard tonight. No. I honestly, yeah. You know what? The Dame 10, because it's higher cut, I'm looking forward to. And if, for the love of God, use the better boost stuff you have, or even just bounce. Like, I don't know why we're using Light Strike all the time. When we've got Ultra Boost, we got Light Boost, we have Bounce Foam, we have, oh my God, I'm blanking on the other Bounce Foam. Oh my God. Bounce Pro. Like, use that. Love Bounce Pro. But I do like the look of the 10s, what they're looking like, and the higher cut of them. I'm pumped up for that. I'm also pumped to see if the Freak 7 is a Nike Hyper set with a different silhouette, like a different, makeup on it. Because I said in the Hyper set video, I'm looking at the Freak 7s and looking here, and they look an awful lot like the Hyper sets with different bells and whistles on the uppers. So if the Freak 7 is the Hyper set, just with, the the Giannis stuff on it, the Giannis logo or the Zoom Freak logo. That's going to be pretty cool because the hypersets are awesome. Let's see here. So Nike Free it's just minimalist technology, right? If you like minimalist shoe technology, I used to have a pair of Nike Frees, like back in, and I loved them. I liked them a lot. They're fine. Just they are what they are. You got to want that. But yeah, they're great. They're fine. The only disc shoe golf in existence. I'll tell you what. I don't know if I'm going to do that. It'd be interesting. Put it that way. It'd be very interesting. But I do not know I'm going to do that. Either a really well-made custom orthotic or plantar fasciitis. I usually start people in the bridge, and then if they need more support, I put them in a pinnacle. If they don't want it over the counter, obviously I do a custom with either a nylon composite shell or a polypropylene shell. I do those builds and more in the shoe customization lower leg taping ebook, available now on footdoctorzac.com. Link to the slides. It's xenonpaddle.com. XENON paddle.com, and it's in all my video descriptions. Joe, I do have a thought about the Coco CG2 coming in the women's last, and I don't like it. I hate it because it's like, not joking, it's one of the best tennis shoes to come out in the last 10 years. Easy, maybe more. Obviously, shoes are getting better and better, but relative to its time. And the CG1 was unisex, right? Like you could get the CG1 in unisex sizing. You can get the Coco Del Rey. That Coco Del Rey is the widest shoe on planet Earth. Why don't they just make the CG2 in the Met? Like, it would sell out in 3 seconds, right? I don't know. I think they're leaving a ton of money on the table, but I don't work for New Balance, so I'm not making any money if they do or don't. I'm just saying you should. They're great if you can. Now, here's the thing. If you got a narrow foot or narrow to medium and you can break them in, then just wear the women's last. Who cares? It's just a little more narrow. But you're someone like me who has an elephant foot, then you're just not going to get in them. Like, I got into them for the review and I couldn't wait to get them off because they were they were so good, but I'd probably have to get a size 13 men's to get my, foot and, just to expand out, which would be what, a 15 and a half women's. So, hey, I appreciate you becoming a member. It's like 99? I think I've said 99 cents. It's just priority access to comments. It's just priority response on comments. Plays volleyball, needs a bouncy shoe. Try that Asics, the Metarize. Those things are awesome. And really, any shoe that's good for basketball in terms of shock absorption, you can check on my list, is good for volleyball. It's, that in that aspect, it's, they're very similar, even though the footwork can be very different. Oh, no, I just honestly didn't. I didn't know. I'm not going to pull it up because I don't know. I'm not sure if that's true or not. So I'm not going to pull up the comment on the chat just because I don't want to call somebody out if it's not true. I'm looking at what Creator you're talking about, and I gotta say that particular person's always been very nice to me, very warm and welcoming to me, especially when they've had a lot more following than I have. So I'm not going to say anything that I don't know 100%. That's just a rumor, but yeah. Really just depends on what you want. Anti-Kai 1 or Kai 2. Depends on what you want. Whoa. Okay. I'll put that user in timeout. What college did I go to? Welcome to the channel for the very first. I'm joking. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I appreciate you tuning in for the very first time, because that's obviously Slippery Rock University. It's the Harvard of the East. Yeah, I went to the Rock. My dad went to Duquesne. That's why I got this one here. My wonderful, beautiful, smart wife went to Arizona State University. Then I went to the Ohio College of Podiatric Medicine for medical school or podiatry school. And then now it's Kent State because Kent State bought them. So now I should probably get a Kent State one. Can't read, can't write, Kent State. And then my wife went to Rosalind Franklin for her doctorate, for her training. So I probably get a Rosalind Franklin one too. I'm slacking. But yeah, I try to represent the family's learnedness here. When am I going to try the Zamst insoles? They have insoles? I didn't know they had insoles. Let's see. No, they're definitely not so stable that a shank would be unnecessary. I mean, remember, shank and upper stability, they're two different types of stability, two different things there. I think it's like the fourth time someone's asked this. I mean, to me, the 9, this is a 9 right here. I love the 9s. I mean, the 8s were I slipped out of the 8s a little bit because of my foot. So like the 8s weren't as good for me as they were for a lot of other people. But man, I loved the 9s. I would say if people watch, I mean, people did not watch that Giannis video as much as I thought they would. Like that video was only got like 30-some thousand views on it. I mean, even the Rafa Nadal one had more than that. The Kyrie one, I think, still doesn't have 100,000 views on it. The Serena one, I think, only has like 20,000. So, and not that I would care so much if the shoe cost me like $100, but when I'm spending thousands on a shoe and like I need to recoup that money back, I think I will if I get a better response to it. Maybe that's my fault. Like, was the review not good? Like, thumbnail not? I don't know. I don't know why those don't do as well as I feel like they should, because I know people are curious. And I mean, Jason Tatum is a pretty popular dude, so I'm not sure why the Tatum one didn't do as well. Yeah, I mean, even the Kyrie one wasn't like gangbusters. And the Nadal one, I think, outperformed a lot more of my tennis reviews. My tennis videos don't get that much many views, just relative. It's a smaller sport. But that one did really well, compared, but the other ones didn't. So I like I said, I have to be able to make back my investment on them. So yeah, I'd say go watch it if you haven't watched it. Because that's the thing. I won't do anything on this channel unless it's wanted, right? I'm not just going to, put stuff out there that people don't want to watch. So see here. Yeah, actually, these right here. Here's the Nadal customs right there. Let's see. How do I define performance fit? Is it like what? So it basically, if you're between two sizes, right? And one is just a hair small, and one is a hair big. Performance fit is the one that's a little smaller because you get the weight reduction in the shoe, right? It's a little bit smaller, a little less shoe around you. So that's what I mean. Because like a lot of shoes, I say performance fit, it means you're going to be between those two sizes, right? Like if you go up, it's going to be a little bit wide. And if you go down, it's going to be a little bit narrow. So the performance fit is when you go down. How do I get people to answer? I just going down the list, and sometimes it jumps, and so I don't see everything. So sometimes the thing jumps. I'm literally just going down. Yeah, I appreciate you being on the live stream. Appreciate it. Yeah, please bring back Bounce Pro. I love how they put it in the Dame 8, which was like one of the best shoes they've ever made. And then it's like, all right, let's do Light Strike for the rest of eternity. And that's not fair because Light Strike has different modifications. Yeah, I get it, but I like Bounce Pro. I think Bounce Pro is a really nice combination of a lightweight foam, but also very supportive and also very stable. Whenever I get my clone to go over to China and pick it up, whenever it comes, I mean, I don't know. It's just me. It's just me here. If you haven't been able to tell, it's just me. So whenever I get it, I can get them done, I will. I don't know. I mean, they're good, but like the Vapor 9.5 was based on another shoe. So that one be the best shoe of all time? I mean, that's subjective to me. I don't know. I actually did a best tennis shoes of all time list, and I mean, I don't think they are, but that's just my opinion. A lot of good shoes out there. Let's see here. You review a ton of shoes. I do. Do you even have a go-to basketball shoe for your own? No. I mean, if put it this way, like when I was taking basketball lessons last summer, I was playing in the two ways. So that maybe that answers your question. But no, I mean, I've always got something else on foot. All right. What do I think about the Nike basketball shoes with the asymmetrically pointy toe box? No, it's not causing bunions. I mean, obviously wearing a really pointy shoe all the time can cause your big toe to drift, but I mean, bunions are hereditary. And I mean, unless you're wearing that shoe all the time, right? You know, most people like walk around the house, they're in sandals or barefoot, they're in slide, whatever. So, I mean, yeah, put it this way. If you have it on all the time, sure, it can cause some medial drifting. But if you're going to get a bunion, you're going to get a bunion. They're hereditary. You're going to get a bunion whether you wear a barefoot shoe or not. So, I mean, I'd rather them not be so pointy too. Obviously, I'd rather them, but I think that's a little bit of fear mongering from a lot of people that I see. Not you, but just when people say like, "Oh, if you wear these, you're going to destroy your foot." And they're like, "Oh, look at LeBron's feet." LeBron's been having shoes custom made for him since like the dawn of time. If there's anybody that's not going to get a bunion from their shoes, it's LeBron. Like, I'm pretty sure in high school he had his shoes made custom for him. So it's like, yeah. All right. Actually, I don't have a preferred drop. Actually, I do have a preferred drop for different people, but this is all big. I actually have a section on this in the ebook. So it's a long answer and my voice is going. So I'm going to leave that for the book. But yeah, I do have preferred ones for specific things. Have the New Balance VV3 and Quiet Forward and cancel. I thought someone just asked this again. I seem trustworthy. I only seem trustworthy. But there is an article out there about how you were sued for alleged lack of consortium. Oh yeah, that's funny. So anytime that there is a complaint put against the doctor, it gets put into public record. Try to find a physician that has not had a complaint put against them. So I don't want to say it because I don't have to knock on wood because I know it'll happen. But like I have never had to go to like I don't want to say because I know I'm going to jinx myself, but you all know I'm going to say I've never had that actually happen where it's actually been like legitimate. But look up any doctor's name and you'll see someone's filed a complaint about something. But yeah, I mean, if it gets thrown out, that usually tells you something. I'm not going to talk further on it because I don't get in trouble. But yeah, I love how you put that in a super chat. Like, so it's like, I like have to, I mean, I'd respond to it anyway. That's funny. It's like spend $5 to call them out. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, in terms of medicine, that's another thing that someone asked, like I'm thinking about going into podiatry. Like, you have to be okay with being put under that kind of microscope. And it's interesting because when you're in school, there's a lot of you do a lot of malpractice, classes, like not classes, but you get classes like on malpractice and things like that. And they always say it's like, it's not if, it's when someone files a complaint or when you get sued, whether or not that lawsuit actually goes anywhere, or if it's just a nuisance or whatever, or someone trying to get something, is a different story. But I'll never forget this. We get to the last few weeks of school. Now I just taken surgical boards. I passed them. I'm pumped. I know I'm graduating. I know I've got a residency. I got a girlfriend, right? I'm going to be a doctor. I'm cool, right? Like you can call me doctor at age of 12. You're riding high, right? At the end of medical school, especially if you've gotten a residency, like things are just, you're feeling good. Like you think you're something special, right? When in reality, you're nothing. But anyway, that's, what I always say, when you have the most confidence, usually when everything falls apart. I'm not joking. On the second to last day of school, they bring in the malpractice attorney to do your malpractice lecture. And it's 4 hours of him showing how you can get sued, everything that can happen to you during the lawsuit process, what it'll look like, how you're going to get bankrupted from it, how much your malpractice insurance is going to have to be, how many wrongful deaths happen in the United States in a given year, how many people sue for net. And it's like, it just makes you afraid to get up out of your chair. I remember being afraid to get up out of my chair. Like, you want to talk about like somebody like passing out at the party first. And I mean, it was like the cops getting called on the party. That was like, I'll never forget that. I looked at my best friend, Derek, who always like made the best faces. I looked at him, he looked at me, he's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if we want to do this anymore. And so, yeah, I mean, put it this way, you should never trust anybody on, blanketly, I mean, for anything. I mean, hell, I mean, I'm sure I've said wrong things in the past, I'm sure, but you should never trust anybody just implicitly without doing some due diligence on them. But anyway. Oh yeah, great way to go out. It was, I mean, talk about and that's what you leave with. Right? It's like, okay, see you for graduation. Like, good luck not going to jail. Oh yeah, that was another thing. It was all the ways you go to jail too. Because remember, there's civil suits where they're just trying to get money. And then there's criminal, right? It's like, okay, then he went through this thing where it's like, here are all the ways you can inadvertently commit fraud. Like, not even trying to, right? Like, just here's inadvertent ways. And I'm like, I'm watching him do this lecture. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I've seen people do this like recently. You're like, it's what's that meme with the pet monkey that's like doing this? Like, that's what everyone was doing. But it's just part of the territory, right? Like, you're going to get a complaint filed against you at some point. So, but yeah. All righty. So let me see. Using the Adidas Hard 9 with custom orthotics, keep getting bad bottom of foot pain in the first quarter, playing that subsides. I'm not sure where on the bottom of the foot. I mean, you're not stretching enough before. I'd have to see like exactly where that would be. You didn't have to put another super chat. It's okay. I was just joking around. Like, it's okay. You have to keep paying me for the. That's funny. But thank you for asking my questions. I was being really feel attacked. No. I don't feel attacked. I don't care. I have nothing to hide. That's funny though. It is funny though, because it is a good story, right? It is. It just reminds me of. It reminds me of that time. Because here's the thing, it won't be the last. It's not the first, not the last. And like I said, every doctor goes through it, unfortunately. And unfortunately, most of the time, it's shenanigans. Why did they ruin the resolution series from the 9 to the 10? I mean, did they ruin it? I don't know. I mean, it's different. I was on, I creep on Talk Tennis a lot on tenniswarehouse.com. Just to see who's calling me a quack that day. No, every once in a while I'll go on there to see what people are talking about. And there was a thread about that, like how someone's like, did they kill the gel resolution line? And it was an interesting thread. It didn't have too many comments yet, but I'm really interested to read it. Just as the year goes on, because they are just so different. And anytime you change something that much, you're going to get people that don't like it. Like I said, I'll be interested to see what the 11s look like. I'm not going to pass judgment on the philosophy of the shoe until I see how they build on it. So we'll see. Like I said, you talk to all the women in them, they love them. So, and like I said, I like the idea. I do. I love the idea. It'd be cool if they called me and we could talk about them. I'd love to talk to them about them one-on-one, give them my 2 cents. But I'm just a simple country foot doctor. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he was being bad. I mean, don't attack the guy. I mean, he gave me $10 to ask the question. It's funny. Yeah, I mean, that's a careless. It's funny. Let's see here. Yeah, I have. Are any better than basketball? Are they any? I mean, it just depends. It depends what you want. No, so the CG2 wide is going to be a C. Is the wide and the CG2 the C? So if I just look, if it says C on it, that means that'd be a men's narrow. If it's wide women's and a D, that means that's a standard men's. I haven't looked recently on what they're doing with the widths, but if it's C, that's narrow. That's D, that's standard men's. How many shoes is too many? I'm 40, play basketball 3 times a week. Good for you. And have about 10 pairs if you endure. Should I seek help? Well, I think we all need a little help. That's why this video is sponsored. Yeah, so I actually did a video on this, and it's the ideal sneaker rotation. Honestly, I don't like having different shoes for different things. I think you need one shoe. You can have 2 or 3 pairs of the same shoe to keep them fresh, and like a couple pairs of the same orthotics keep them fresh. But I don't like going between drops of shoes, right? I think that's why another reason why people are busting their Achilles so much, because they're going from different drops of shoes and different things like that. So watch that video, and then you tell me if you think you got too many shoes. I think you already know the answer, and that video will probably just confirm it. But watch that video. I think you'll get more out of it than most. Hi, Doc, from the Philippines. I'm 5'4", 80 kilogram heavy player. Siri, what is 80 kilograms in pounds? 176 for 5'4". Yeah, I guess relatively a little. I mean, but you're not heavy, like 176. I mean, I think I'm like 176, and I'm like 5'7". I mean, and I'm not that heavy anymore. So, yeah, I mean, the DVD3 is a great shoe just in general. So I don't see why not. If NB says D, then I would say, gentlemen, as long as you're not a wide-footed person, you can open the floodgates on them. Then I'd start buying in the D, because then that means that's standard. If you're wide, it's still going to be narrow, but at least if you're medium standard, you'll get that standard. So I'd say, yeah, if it's D, the floodgates are open. Then start buying, and write a comment every time you buy it on the Tennis Warehouse or the Midwest or whatever. Is it Midwest now? I know Tennis Points out, wherever you buy them, or Joe's New Balance or whatever. Write a comment. I'm a dude buying this shoe. Make them in a 2E and 4E. Maybe they'll do it. Sorry, I get so mad about that because they're such good shoes. It can, put it this way, it can be the straw that breaks the camel's back, right? I don't know if it's going to cause an issue, but it could tip you. I keep telling NB to say they should release their wide versions in Europe instead of only in the USA. I mean, I'd like them to release it in the USA too. Shoe of the year so far. Got 2 top 5 videos. Check them out. I've heard a lot of poor feedback. Is this Billy or Jess that I'm talking to? I heard a lot of poor feedback on the Gel 10. I mean, I just watched. I mean, put it this way. Like, I did a non-sponsored review, everything I say in there is my true opinion of them. I would watch it. And if you want to get them after that review, I would say try. Remember, you go on Tennis Warehouse, you can send them back as long as you don't mess them up. Like just wear them on carpet in your house. And like kind of, like go back to serve and do like a couple practice serves, go side to side on them a little bit and see what happens. My wife always makes fun of me for I'll walk through the kitchen or whatever. Like I'll practice my backhand volley and stuff. But anyway, just kind of and see. I mean, your foot might fit them great. There are people out there that love them, that think they are the best things ever. So you might be missing out on something you like. But I would say just make sure you get them someplace that has a good return policy and then return them. If you don't like them, just send them right back. And I mean, I do that all the time in my office. Someone comes in, we do a big shoe eval. I'll give them 3-4 shoes to try and just say, use them on a carpet so you can send the 3 back. And then the one, that we determine is the best for you, then that's when we start modifying it and getting it custom. So yeah. Me personally, I find shoes that snug around the midfoot whilst having a bit of room in the forefoot because of Taylor's bunion. The DVD 3 is probably the best one for that. It's pretty narrow. It fans out like crazy. I kind of forget how the Quick Pro felt in the midfoot. I gotta have to go look at the review again, but the DVD 3, I think, would be the be all for that because it's so wide in the forefoot. And like I said, once you do find the best shoe and you want to start modifying it, you can always look in the book, those modifications on footdoctorzac.com. I get all these segues. I love it. You are welcome, Ulysses. I didn't think the I'm doing this stream forever. NBBV3 felt a bit mushy. Does it have a good amount of bounce? I thought it did. I didn't think it felt mushy. Hi, Billy. Would it be okay to rotate between the gel resin and the MB Coco? I'd have to go back and look and see what the drop is. I'd have to go back and look at the sheet. Let's see. Tariq, I'm a little passive aggressive there. I don't know. It depends what fits their foot the best. I mean, as soon as you get into those youth versus small size versus the lower size, the heel to ball and the heel to toe are different. So it depends on your kid's heel to toe and heel to ball drop. I have no idea what that is. So I couldn't even begin to answer that. You'd have to measure it. Sorry, I'm trying to answer. I'm trying to answer the questions. I'm trying. It's been 2.5 hours or 2 hours at least. I'm trying. Billy, you are welcome. Little Mad Jess isn't here. Why aren't they on the live stream? Is walking around the house with a brand new shoes a great way to get used to the feel of it? Yeah, I mean, I think if you kind of shadow box with them or shadow stroke or, do some jumps, whatever. But that's what I do. That's how I get a feel. And that's how I tell my patients to do it. I switched from the Vape Pro 3 to the Speed FF3. The solution speeds. Honestly, I feel like you're going to get less forefoot support in the solution speeds. If you're going to go to ASICs in the forefoot, I would be going to the gel resolutions, just because it has so much more support in the forefoot for something like sesamoiditis, for sure. I mean, I wouldn't buy the Ubersonic 5s. If you want that silhouette, I would go for the Cybersonic 2s. Is the GT Jump 2 still most? So the GT Jump 2 is good in terms of straight up shock absorption. It's just not the most stable one of the bunch, right? So yes, for pure shock absorption, it is one of the best in the bunch. Absolutely. Just that doesn't necessarily mean stability. Oh, good. I'm glad that helped, Declan. Appreciate it. So I found the lightest tennis shoes, a lighter player. I enjoy light shoes, but often they're uncomfortable. Yeah, I mean, the first thing I always tell people, the first bit of customization, like in the book, is the orthotic, right? And sometimes, you can like 90% of a shoe and 10% of it's just a deal breaker, and that orthotic can take that 10% and just wash it right away. So that's like I always says, that's the first level is the orthotic. It can really make a difference. It can make a bigger difference than you think it can. What shoe would I like to come back if I pick a pair from the past? The Fig Jams, the Match Day Pump, or the GP Turbo? How did I end up being a foot doctor? I like shoes. That's really it. I love biomechanics. I love shoes. I wanted to get into that, and yeah, like science and biomechanics, lower extremity. I always thought was super interesting. But yeah. No, I did not review the GT Cut 1. And I didn't review the re-release because, okay, you've got the GT Cut 1 that came out years ago. So obviously you got the molds. It's there. Why did you release it on sneakers and do this like scarcity of it and why are we going back to the GT Cut 1 when you've got like, what is that telling us about the 2s, the 3s, the academies, the cross, the cut, the whatever, that we had to go back to the 1? Instead of re-releasing the 1 on sneakers and then not releasing it wider when you know it's going to sell well, why not just put that into a GT Cut 4 with the same stuff? Like, oh my God, I'm getting angry. It's making me so mad. That stuff just drives me bananas. Like, everybody wants the 1 because the 1 was the better one of all of them. Why not just build off of it, right? Why did we get the GT Cut 3 Turbo, right, when you... Getting angry? I've already had a long day. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why I wouldn't. It just like sometimes like it's kind of tough. Like you don't know if you're like getting like involved, like or some like shady characters you're buying from. Like you never like know like who you're getting them from. So yeah, and I think what we've seen recently, I don't know if you've seen this like TikTok trend. It's on Instagram Reels too. I don't really go on TikTok. Of like all the Chinese manufacturers now just like showing all of the shoes and like all the purses and all the soft goods and showing like how the reps that you buy or like basically, they're the same thing, or like I forget who it was. It was some purse company. And they were showing the purses and like how they're the exact same. So I don't know enough about it because I'm just like, to me, I'm a kind of casual consumer of this. Are the reps really reps? I know some are like, I cut the one pair open. Yeah, they were clearly different, and the quality control was clearly different than in the real ones. But I think it'd be interesting to like see, like if I could get a bunch of them and see like which ones are actually like which ones are, So I don't know. I mean, I would. I don't have any plans on it right now, but not saying I wouldn't. Oh man, hold on. Oh, I gotta get a drink. That's the thing. I can only record a couple days a week now. My voice just goes. Rep shoes from Max Uncle Drew. I don't know who that is, so no. I know Ziana recommends going up if you're in between sizes. About my feet scan at the New Balance store, and it's a 9.5. Yeah, I would go with the 10 probably. If you want a quicker break-in. If you don't care about break-in, like if you're going to wear them with a sock for about a week, then you're going to get a really nice break in on, put it this way, if you're Brannick 9.5, no, I go with the 10. If you're a Brannick 9.5, just go with the 10. Yeah, sorry, I kind of read that wrong. Yeah, that's it, 10. Rep steal intellectual properties quality wise are getting really close to J1. Yeah, I mean, it is true. Yeah, that is, yeah, there's really nothing else to say about that. That is true. It is intellectual property, theft, I guess. The ones, I guess there's some people that, if you build off of it and you do something different, right? And obviously people that don't sell them, they just do it for fun, right? Because I've made fakes, right? They're just for me, just for fun. So that's not bad. But yeah, I guess, you're trying to profit off somebody else's idea. But that being said, if you're putting something new in it, you're trying something different, that falls under fair use. I don't know how fair use falls under like commodities and like goods, though. I should look that up. You are welcome. What is the difference between Zoom X and Zoom Turbo? Well, Zoom X is a foam. Zoom Turbo is a configuration of Zoom Air. Like not much. Almost, they're almost the exact same shoe. And you just go, look up the reviews, see which ones, gel with you the best, which ones gel with you the best. There's really not, there's not a big difference. From the 12 to the 13, there was a huge difference for sure. I like the All City 10 and 11 more than the 12s. The 12, I think, is like my least favorite All City. Then the 13, awesome. Like, so I'd skip the middle and then you go to the 11 and 13. What do you think about the Converse Shy? I'm excited. I don't know. Converse weird. Like, not weird, but you look at their shoes like on a 2D image, right? Like online. And then you get them in hand and they look and feel different. I'm not going to say anything until I get them in hand. Cause it's gone both ways. I'm like, this looks stupid. I get them in hand. I'm like, wow, that's cool. And then I look online. I'm like, whoa, this is pretty crazy. I get them in hand. I'm like, oh, it's pretty basic. So it's, you need to be in hand with them. Cutting the shoes is interesting and see which tech is. Yeah, I appreciate it. A lot of people cutting open shoes these days too. I've seen a lot of talk about intellectual property. My God, a lot of that going around these days. But can't patent an idea. It's it's the same as like I got the idea for the the original channel, this idea, I kind of modeled it after like Jerry Rig everything. And so it's like, am I stealing from him? That's where I got my idea. I was like, man, what if I do that? Cause like I'd always I cut a lot of shoes open in my office. I'm like, man, like it could be entertaining if I did this online, for the channel. And so like, it was interesting how, I get my idea from that. Other people get the idea to do this from me. It's like, it's all just one big circle. I honestly don't think there's any original ideas out there anymore. How is the new studio coming along? Stevie. Oh my God. It's a pain in the neck. I'll tell you that's how it's going. Like a year ago, I moved to the other place. That took 2 weeks to move into there, build everything from scratch. And now moving, it's great because I'm moving because the businesses are getting so busy that I can't be all these places at one time. So I'm trying to consolidate things. It's bad in that the temporary space I'm in now is way smaller. And so I don't have nearly the amount of just breathing room I had before. So that's annoying. I can still do the same thing. We do the same things. But it was nice. That warehouse, it was huge, 30 feet by 30 feet by 16 feet. It's just a big space. You never felt claustrophobic. If I wanted to add something on or do something, it was just, I could put all my decorations up and it felt great. But then you got to move again. And now I have to take down that tennis wall. I got to take apart that big dummy of a desk that I built, which is great. I love that desk. It's just that taking it apart is going to be a pain in the neck. I got to move everything out. I got to move that basketball hoop again. If you would have seen the scene it was to get that basketball hoop from that dude's lawn into my studio, and the back pain that ensued. And then I'm dumping antifreeze out. I didn't know there was, like, stupid me. I forgot there would be antifreeze in the bottom of it. And I'm dumping antifreeze out. I probably like killed 7 polar bears and a possum that day. And like, I care about the environment. Like, I'm pretty, I'm not a climate denier or anything. Like, I care about, conservation. And here I am just dumping antifreeze out all over Central Ohio. So that was quite the scene, getting that basketball hoop into the studio. So I'm going to get back out. My kid's excited they would have a basketball hoop at the house. So that'll be fun. But yeah. So yeah, it's a pain in the neck, but it's necessary. It serves a greater purpose. Like, so anyway. All right, man, my voice is going. Okay. What Nike shoe would I compare to the Curry shoes? 0.0. I don't know, maybe the A1s just for feel underfoot, but like none. Yeah. It's funny. That is a silly question because they just won't do it. Actually, no, there's Boost in the Court Jam Bounce or Court Jam Control. There is Boost in one of the new ones. There is. All right. Hey, Zach, long time no see. Hey, how's it going? Great to see you live again. Unfortunately, chat is going to be filled with people who only care about their questions. Yeah, I mean, it's just the way it is. I try to, because like I have moderators in like the background. So, usually they get banned or whatever, but yeah, a lot of times you just got to ignore it. It's just is what it is. So, all right. Oh man, it has been over 2 hours. My voice is gone. So I am going to leave it here. Once again, please check out the Shoe Customization and Lower Leg Taping for Athletes book. Most of the questions you ask get answered in here in great detail. And like I said, if you want to know how to make your shoe exactly the same level of customization, or at least the most that you're going to get outside of working in a Nike factory at home, this is it. This is how to get your shoe. This is the limit of what you can do in terms of customizing your shoes. And if you want your shoes to perform at their absolute pinnacle, this book is a must. If it saves you one busted ankle, one busted toe, it's worth it. So check it out at footdoctorzach.com/customization. It's also linked in the description below. See you guys somewhere in the sneakerverse. And ladies.